As I listen to some of the more vocal and more public religious leaders, I wonder what role the Ninth Commandment has in what they do. Ninth Commandment basically says, do not bear false witness against your neighbor. In essence, don't lie about other people. But yet we do have some rather public religious leaders that routinely lie about others. They would spread lies like, well, these people are incapable of human love, or these people are dangerous, especially to our children, or these people cause natural disasters to occur. This is not a new thing. This has been going on for centuries. There were people who were being executed because crops failed a few centuries ago. But do the people who espouse these things know that they're untrue? Consider, these are the same kind of things they're espousing against many different groups. Right now, they use it against gays. But in the past, they've also used it against blacks, Jews, people of Middle Eastern descent, which they still do to a certain extent. Baptists were being thrown out of some of the colonies back in the 17th century. The Catholics and the Protestants, they were killing each other off in Europe, all with the basic notion of there's something wrong with some other group. And they spread this by saying falsehoods against this other group. Isn't that fly in the face of the Ninth Commandment? So I'm asking, these more public religious leaders, do you know that you're telling a falsehood? Unfortunately, some of them know that they're telling a falsehood, but have placed so much of their reputation on spreading this falsehood, they've in essence painted themselves into a corner. They can't repent and they can't recant, because then they would lose all credibility. But what about those that don't know that they're telling falsehoods? Certainly there are enough people in our society that would point out to them that, hey, what you're saying isn't true. And what they'll then proceed to do is either stick their fingers in the ears, metaphorically, and completely ignore their detractors, or they'll seek out new facts of their own. And there are people, again, that first group that know they're telling falsehoods but spread anyways, they then supply the information for the other group. In the secular world, we call this confirmation bias. Where you seek out and only listen to information that's consistent with what you already believe to be true. But that also flies in the face of the Ninth Commandment, because it doesn't establish what you're saying is being true. It merely establishes that there is some kind of controversy about it. Shouldn't the individual have the responsibility to sort through the truth? Unfortunately, amongst both of these groups, many of them will basically say, well, that's man's truth. We're after God's truth. The Ninth Commandment doesn't make a distinction. It merely says, do not lie about your neighbors. Do not lie about each other. It does not say it's okay to lie about them if God tells you to. That's not in there. In fact, if part of your religion states that God is the truth, and only through Him can you get the truth, think about that first part. He is the truth. If you're spreading falsehoods, He's not in you. So the religious leaders, I'd like you to think long and hard about what you're saying out in the public and worse yet, political forum. Are what you're saying the truth? And are you certain of this? Or are you putting yourself at risk with your God because you're violating one of His commandments?